The data panel is this portion of slope charts on the left side of the screen, which is where you have essentially the non-graphic elements of the program. Probably 99% of the time, the purpose of the data panel is to present your watch lists to you. However, there's all kinds of other information you can have here, and you can scroll through it by way of these right and left arrow keys. And so it moves from function to function. Now, the full set of information you can access by going to the Preferences, the Data Panel tab, and you can click on any of these. So you can have up to 10 different items that are presented in the data panel. And I'll just say a word or two about each of these. Obviously, whether you show them or not is dictated by the check mark. So I've selected 4 items to be in my own data panel, one of which is required. You cannot remove the watch lists. So, in alphabetical order, Big Movers shows the big gainers and losers for a given day, as well as the volume leaders. Earnings Events shows the items that are going to be announcing earnings on a given day. The Economic Data provides access to the wealth of economic information we have that goes back, in some cases, literally hundreds of years. Sectors shows various groupings in a hierarchical fashion of stocks based on sector. Slope lists are predefined lists of things like the S&P 100 components, the NASDAQ 100 components, and so forth. Slope Rules gives you access to your own rules that you've established in the Slope Rules product. Statistics gives you access to a few items that show, for example, the number of stocks above their 100-day moving average or the 200-day moving average, and what the PE ratio is, and so on. Study Sets, which is showed in a different video about technical indicators, gives you direct access to your own creations based on technical indicators. Styles lets you change the chart style you're using, which dictates, for example, the number of years you're looking at, whether it's a daily or an intraday chart, and so forth. And watch list, of course, is required and shows the watch list that you've created. So you can just go through all these one by one with the right and left arrows. The one little quirk that's different on this is in the instance of Earnings Events. In this case, you've got a second set of left and right arrows which controls the calendar date. So that's specific to this particular data panel, because you can change what calendar day you're looking at to examine the stocks that are announcing at various times. And finally, for any of these, you can typically right-click at the top, in other words, the header for a specific function, to see if there are additional items there you can look at. In some cases, there are none at all, and in other cases, there's a whole wealth of information by right-clicking.